Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome to My Crochet Story, where I share with you the two things that I love, teaching and crochet. Today is Mosaic Monday, which means it is February the 12th, and I am here to show you my progress on my mosaic blanket, the 4 seasons from Get Your Hook On. She's the one that designed and that I made up last year, the show lock, and so when Michelle Mosaic from Michelle MOSAICS and More said, do we want to do another one? We all said yes, those of us that are participating. Which one do we want? And so she gave us some choices, and this is the one that we picked. But before I get to reminding you what the blanket looks like and showing you my progress, let me say thank you to all of you for being here. You know that I greatly appreciate every time you take a moment just to see what it is I brought up for you to see. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome into you as well. I want you to know that I truly appreciate your time and the fact that you wanted to take a minute just to see who and what My Crochet Story is all about. Now, I do hope that you will watch to the end of the video and then go take an extra minute to look at all the other content on my channel. I really hope that it excites you enough to hit that subscribe button down there in the corner and then look for that bell that's got those little hugs on the side, because it'll let you know every time I upload some content, especially if you like seeing mosaics. Alright, so let me remind you what the mosaic pattern looks like. There she is. And as you can see, she is created by Get Your Hook On. I will leave a link. Oops, come on. Okay, I will leave. Come on. There she goes. What's going on here? Get your booty done. I will leave a link to the pattern so that if you are interested, you can go and pick it up. Also, I will leave a link to Michelle MOSAICS and More's channel so that you can go and check out. She does have 3 or 4 lives now about questions and answers, seeing how you're doing, and in fact, whether you're working on this particular mosaic or not, if you're just interested in mosaics or you want some place to hang out in on a Sunday evening between 5 and 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, you can go and check out her channel, see, find out when those times are, and then come and join us for just a little bit of sit back and listen to each other share what they're doing on the blanket. So as I said, I'm just here to show you what I have done so far. Now, you can follow the pattern exactly like it is, because she breaks down the amount of yards you need for each pattern section. Now, she does break it up into sections. I think there's 6 of them here. Even though there's 4 seasons, she's broken the pattern down into some different sections there for you. But you can also just choose to make it your own colors. There's lots of folks that have just decided, I only want to make it black and white, blue and white, orange and white. You can do whatever you want to. You don't have to specifically stay with the colors that are chosen. As for me, I am going to stick with some of her colors. I might just switch them around a little bit, because like for me, she chose down here, whoops, sorry about that, pulled a hook out of my little jar there. She chose winter. We start with winter, and then we go to fall, and then we go to summer, and then we go to, let's see, is that right? It goes winter, fall, summer, and spring. I think we're going backwards because you start here, so it would be spring, summer, fall, and winter. But we're starting here at the winter. So anyway, she chose to use white and blue for winter. Now, I also have chosen white and blue for winter, but mine is reversed. I didn't like so much the trees being in blue. I wanted my trees to look like they were all covered in snow. So even though I have the same colors as hers, mine are just going to be in a reversed order. Now, another thing I want to tell you about my mosaic is what I learned when I did the show lock was that stitch markers were my best friend. Also, I learned that with I choose to work off the printed chart there, and I don't want to leave it up too much because I don't want, you know, to get dinged for showing you the pattern itself. But I also printed off the written piece so that I can check off each row as I go. Another thing that I would suggest for you is that as you're working each pattern, if you choose to do your own colors, that you be sure that you say the odd number of rows I'm using this color, the even number of rows I'm using this color. And if you don't have enough hooks where you can leave them in each one of your project bags, I always like to, on my pattern, say this is the hook that I use. So just little, you know, tidbits of things that I do myself. I am planning to, this first pattern has 42 rows. I did complete the first 14. And I hope to get the next 14 done to show you next week. And then I will finish up the rest of the rows, which are about, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. There are 15 rows that'll be left for me. So I broke pattern section 1 down in to be worked over 3 weeks. Now, you don't have to do that. It's just that for filming purposes for me, and because I like to kind of stay on a schedule, I've allotted myself so many rows per week to get the pattern done. All right, enough gibby gab. Let me show you. Now, here it is again. Okay, her winter is in white with blue, and I'm doing mine blue with white. So hopefully you can start to kind of see that little bottom is kind of like almost a little mandala supposedly there, and it goes all the way across. Now another thing that I did was I added here on the bottom an extra couple of rows of single crochets, and I'll tell you why. On the show lock, when we finished it up, when you do a mosaic, you work from right to left. Right, you work, start on the right, go to the left, tie off your yarn, snip. Come here, attach your yarn. You know, it's not a back and forth. Left to right, stop. Left to right, stop. So you can choose, which I will mention, one friend that worked on the show lock with us last year, she did do this. She did not do the envelope edge to hide all of the yarn ends. She wove in every end, folks. I mean, every one of these she chose to weave in. Well, I'm doing things a little bit differently. Like I said, I decided to put a couple of extra rows of single crochets in starting my mosaic. And then also over here on my beginning row, I am hiding my ends or sewing them in as I go. I'm not doing that envelope border again. So what I have chosen to do is I'm going to, like I said, I started my mosaic with a few extra rows, 2 or 3 I think, 2 rows, extra rows of the single crochets, and I will end the top with a couple of extra rows of single crochets. I am going to finish off my ends. You know, this is however many rows worth. I will finish and weave these in so that I have a nice clean edge starting on the next section that I'll be working on. And depending on if I like my edges, I may just leave them alone, or I may go tidy them up and do a couple of rows itself, you know, to kind of give it a more finished block look. I haven't made up my mind yet. You know, we'll just have to wait and see when I get a little bit further along. But that's where I'm at on my mosaic so far. I hope you're as excited as I am to see how she grows, how the pattern gets itself developed. I would encourage you, like I said, to go and see Michelle Mosaics. I think I either dreamed this or I heard where some of us will start showing pictures, sharing them with her so that she can share out with those that like to come to her live, how everybody else's is looking, what colors they chose, that kind of thing. But anyway, like I said, I'll leave that information for you down there in the description box, plus where you can go and find the pattern if you're interested in doing it. So that's all I have for you today. Again, thank you so much for stopping in. All I ask is that you leave a little thumbprint and think about sharing it out. I mean, there may be others out there that would like to know mosaic is not that hard. If at my advanced age I can finally decide to do it and kick myself for not picking it up earlier, folks, anyone can do mosaic. Anyone. So, until tomorrow, please remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know, could be your light that they need to see. I love you all. Bye.